This is a mono green devotion deck that is trying to Ave for a lot. And what's cool about Ave is you get to make a lot of devotion with Ave 2 to lead to like some crazy explosive turns afterwards. The main idea is that you have like, you know, Summoner's Pact is a really good Storm enabler too. Summoner's Pact, Kiora, Garruk, where they untap your Overgrowth and Nykthos. Cast a lot of spells at the same turn, make a million Aves. I actually was able to make 10 copies of Ave on turn 3 off stream the other night. The list is not very different from last time, but the big changes are that we are playing 18 lands now instead of 17, and I've added the Akroma's Memorial in the sideboard to be able to give Ave haste. And I cut the Endurance. I wasn't super happy with that card, and then I cut the Cavaliers. I kind of felt like it was the worst card in the deck, and I was looking for like, I was honestly looking for like anything you could Summoner's Pact for that would like help your Storm count. But like the reality is like Burning Tree Emissary and like Ave are just gonna be better than everything else, and so what I was really looking for was like something you could pact for that just puts an untapped Nykthos into play. But the only thing is like you have Golos and Primetime, which both put them into play tapped. All right, let's go ahead and mulligan this. Keep this one. I think with no Arbor Elf in the hand to put back Yavimaya. Yavimaya is here, so you can untap Nykthos with Arbor Elf sometimes. Got 3 pair. Good old Inquisition of Kozilek. I think Inquisition of Kozilek means not scam, right? Wouldn't you grab Curry with Karn? Otherwise, you'd have good targets too. Yeah, you would. Yes, I don't know exactly what you're asking, but yes, it would be a Karn target. But is it a better Storm enabler than Woodcall Automaton or Chain Veil is the question, and like sometimes it will be, but it may be a little bit too one more. Okay, that's a nice pickup. I'm trying to think. So if I hold Oath of Nissa for a turn, so I can go. Garruk is mana neutral, so I guess I'm 1 mana short of being able to Oath of Nissa into Ave and put 3 Aves next turn if I were to find one. So we'll just cast it now. I usually do hold Burning Tree Emissary for Storm count, and I'll do that here because if we draw either Summoner's Pact or Ave, we get 4 copies next turn. And one kind of common thing with this deck is you'll like Garruk untap 0 mana Garruk, +1 mana Garruk, whatever, and then you'll have a Garruk ready to ultimate next turn with like Burning Tree Emissary and Aves in play. Okay, so yeah, they look like they're some sort of creativity deck with all mountains so far. Seeing Inquisition is really weird. I guess their mana base is really painful, so that would, I guess, explain why they'd want to be. I guess I'll Burning Tree. Why they'd want to play Inquisition, but Inquisition is still just like so dopey, you know. Thank you, sweetie. Perlo, 15 months. Thank you. Brutal Spell Pierce. Could maybe have played around it, but you know, we mulligan. To some extent, we just have to play our spells. But I had a chance to experiment with Steel Seeker, looking to try Junsack and Pioneer. I mean, I've been playing more with Steel Seeker. I think that building it in Breach is very difficult. I am starting to think that you really don't want to play Steel Seeker in decks without the food package. There with like maybe some exceptions like Cat Oven or Oni Cult Anvil could be exceptions. So I'm kind of looking to like, you know, either Breach with the food package, which is like one of the hardest decks I've ever had to build, and I've been, I guess, procrastinating on it a little bit, or looking at Steel Seeker and Anvil. And so those are 2 projects for me to work on this weekend and hopefully have for next week. Yeah, if you could Summoner's Pact for Orvar, I think we'd be playing it. Sadly, Orvar is blue and not green. Is Ballista really not on Arena? Jeez. I mean, how long ago was it that they announced that they were going to do, like... Could you put back a second Oath? How long ago was it that they announced they're going to do Pioneer on Arena? Because I feel like they said that they were going to do that a long time ago. And it's still just not ready. Oh, is Bliss on there? Like 2 years? Well, when did Explorer get printed? Okay, so if I draw another Summer's Pact or an Ave, I can Ave for a bunch this turn, although I died to a removal spell on my... Okay, I died to a removal spell on my Arbor Elf. But I think I probably have to do this. This is, so I go Pact for Burning Tree, Pact for Ave, 4 Oozes. Yeah, I don't think you want to play Harmonize. Listen, this is what we came here to do. Well, we could also just wait a turn. I know this is what I just said, but I know we died at Ren and 6, but we also get to put 4 Oozes into play on turn 2 on the play. Cowards can't block warriors. Yeah, let's wait a turn. Let's wait a turn. So I'm probably supposed to pick this forest. I'm probably supposed to pick the forest so we don't just die. Or sorry, so we don't like lose to an removal spell in the Arbor Elf, because that was the whole point of taking this line. But boy, did I just want to take the Emissary for an extra storm. We don't have nearly enough mana. Oh, sorry, yes. We needed 2 Burning Tree Emissaries to do the thing. Okay, it's good I didn't take the line. Because for some reason I thought we could just double Emissary plus Ave, but obviously that's not the case. Can do it this turn though. Am I looking for something you pack for the untap Nykthos? That would be awesome. As far as I know, it doesn't exist though. As far as I know, that does not exist. Yeah, it would have been really funny if I just packed it, realized I had nothing into the stream, huh? Not really, yeah, I guess it's a problem if my opponent's spell pierces my Summoner's Pact. Damn it. So if I pay 2, I have to pay 8 mana on my next turn. Damn it. So I just have to say no. Damn it. I think you're just dead. Well, no, I'm not dead. I just, not super alive. Back to dead to removal. Yeah, that is true. Back to dead to removal spell. Yeah, I just never ever dodge this card. My opponents just literally always have the spell pierce. Alright, we're not dead though. Just super behind. Wake Root Elemental. Wake Root Elemental is way too bad. That card is not close to what we need. That card is what? 10 mana to untap a Nykthos. Plus, you need 2 more mana to, it's just, there's no way. It can go infinite, I guess, but I don't think that's something you really need. Seaborn Muse doesn't untap immediately. It needs to untap immediately. Honestly, like, if you could Summoner's Pact for this card, the Woodcaller Automaton, that would be great, but it's not green in your library, right? Always tough to Moldo 6 in a match like this, and put as 2 really premium 1 mana removal spells. We'll just die. Roll the draw against a Gigantha. I feel like Gigantha is really likely to be prowess. Not that. Most of our mulligans are kind of weak against prowess. I hope that's not actually what they're playing. We could try to keep this. Oh, maybe Grixis Shadow? haven't seen Grixis in a long time. Morning, Spider. Just like every hand, just really hoping to draw Utopia Sprawl. Have we brewed a Pioneer version of Standard Steel Seeker? I have not spent a lot of time thinking about Pioneer. I have some decks that like I could potentially play for the stream for Pioneer, but I don't know. It's Pioneer. What can you say? Plane Shift, 8 months. Thank you. Welcome back. So I end up with a verdict on Intent and Rakdos Bombardment. I don't know if I would go as far to say I have a verdict, but as far as like mostly like the problem with the Anvil decks is we could try to play Diabolic Intent, we could try to play Steel Seeker, but I think that these versions are going to be worse than just the Shrapnel Blast, Galvanic Blast version. This will happen a lot with brews, where your first draft is the best version, and your deck is fine, it's somewhat competitive, but it's missing something. You know what I mean? It's missing something. And so you spend a lot of time trying to fix it and trying to, let's take the Ave here. Trying to just tweak it a little bit. If I could just change a couple things, then it'll be good enough. But the reality is that a lot of times you like just maximize your idea early, and then you get really lost in the sauce trying all these different plans, which are just worse than your original. 1/1 Death Shadow. Okay. We're gonna have a crazy turn. Next turn if they don't have Spell Pierce. Awesome. Finally didn't get Spell Pierce. So next turn we can go Overgrowth on the Overgrowth land. Then this will tap for 5, and then we can Kiora untap the Overgrowth land. 2 mana floating. We can either Pact for Emissary, maybe not, but we can ooze for a lot. I do think that they are really likely to have a Drown in the lock, so maybe drawing a non-Windswept Heath land would have been ideal. So we could potentially do something like Overgrowth here, cast Kiora, and then Kiora and Overgrowth are both effectively 0 mana. And then maybe the Summer's Pact baits the Drown. Play your fetch in case of Spell Pierce. I guess. I mean, Spell Pierce is gonna, probably destroy me no matter what. I can also draw, Nykthos. Maybe it just makes the most sense to play Kiora first. Ah, so tough. Okay, let's just cast the Overgrowth. Sorry, I always think that this taps for 1 less. Yeah, I didn't have Pierce last turn, so I think playing around Pierce is not super important, but it also doesn't cost us very much to just play this. So untap now, because they could like potentially Bolt Heat or something if we cast the Pact first. No, I think that they're supposed to counter the Summoner's Pact, and so this is like a little bit of a weird spot, right? Where I could just Burning Tree Emissary, cast Emissary, but if they counter my Emissary with the Drown that we feel like they're really likely to have, then I get kind of toasted. So maybe just 4 copies of Ave is going to be the better number, and I could just put another Ave into my hands. I get to draw a couple cards, and I get to have a pretty big board. Dress down. I mean, if we get 2/2s if they dress. If they had dressed down, they would have actually just killed me last turn, but I don't think it's really something we need to be too worried about. Okay, Heat target Kiora. They don't have Delirium at the moment, but they can maybe they get it right now. So this Kiora is gonna die, and I'm not gonna get to draw any cards. Legend roll with dress down. So the tokens are still not legendary as far as I understand. If you dress down in response to Ave. They heat by 5/5. Yeah, maybe I didn't have the luxury of playing around. Yeah, they didn't have the drown. We would have won, I think, if we Burning Tree Emissaried, or we would have been in much better shape at least. Now we have to pay 4, and I think if we draw exactly Nykthos, we have a good chance. But without Nykthos, we're probably going to lose. Yeah, that's not quite good enough. Oh, I don't have Tormod's Crypt, do I? Yeah, if I had Tormod's Crypt, I could get them off Delirium. Ah. Everything has just been so close today, not quite enough. Pact, Brainstorm, Korean Ranger, and build around enough Yavamayas so a consistent enough blink goes banana with Arbor Elf on board. I've considered Korean Ranger. The problem is it's only as any synergy in this deck with Arbor Elf. And so, and like, your Arbor Elves already just like, they just die all the time. I don't know. I don't think that like if you have Arbor Elf, Yavamaya, Nykthos in play, and you're getting to untap your Nykthos, I don't think that the Korean Ranger really is what you need. You could have Haywire your own Oath for 2 Sweet Life. No, I only had 4 mana. If I had 6, I didn't have enough mana to Karn and then do anything after the Karn. Anyway, we can tutor Nykthos better. Maybe a creature that can fetch it so we can pack for Nykthos. The only creatures that you can... I think there's only one creature that you can pact for that finds Nykthos, and it's Primeval Titan. My issue with that card is that it's 6 mana, and if you have Nykthos in play, it's also like not very good. Yikes. Yeah, there's also Uvenwald Hydra. It puts into play tapped. If it put into play untapped, I'd consider it. Okay, this hand is amazing if my Arbor Elf doesn't die and we draw a Nykthos. We've had a pretty bad day today, and I had a pretty late night, so I think here's my plan. I'm going to put back the Karn. If we draw a Nykthos, we continue to stream. If not, I'm going to go take a nap and then stream the challenge tomorrow. Yeah, I had Cavalier of Florence earlier. It's just not that consistent. Like I was playing Cavalier over Titan in the earlier draft. All right, Nykthos. Nykthos, we get to go so crazy, and then still die to removal spell on Arbor Elf. All right. Maybe we take one more drill step. We also should maybe brew a little bit of the blue-white Tamashii deck, but I think I need to nap before I do that. We can still draw Nykthos and have a crazy turn though. We can still draw Nykthos, pact for 2 emissaries, Ave, win the game. Maybe my opponent has a 1-lander. The changes are we're up to 18 lands. We cut the Cavalier. We're playing a Chroma's Memorial for Hasty Oozes on the board. No way! No way! We have a stream! We have a stream and a dream. And they didn't have a land. Things are turning around. The stream is back on the menu. Let's go. Doing this is just like the funnest shit ever. It is just like, this is one of my favorite things to do right now. It is not that consistent, and it's kind of fragile, but oh my gosh, it just feels so good. It just feels so good. Dead to Ghost Quarter, yeah. Did the Alpine Moon on Nykthos? I've never died to packs more than playing this deck. I don't think I have either. But also, I would play more packs if I could. Honestly, like, what's kind of interesting about this deck is if you could play like 12 Summoners packs, it'd be awesome. Because then you just like so consistently do the packed Ave thing, and then when you have Ave, you have enough devotion to pay for like really any number of packs. We can try to keep this at the draw. This is a matchup where you can't really mulligan very aggressively. I tried to thrust. I didn't really like it very much. Can you play Ooze and Tamashi? You get an Imperial Recruiter for Ooze. Oh no! Why did it? No! Does Lucy nap with me nonstop? She's nonstop. She's always just on top of me. You should play Z with Burning Tree. Reckless Bushwhacker. Yeah, that's classic modern deck. Ah, man. Imperial Recruiter for Ave. There's not a good way to sacrifice creatures for mana in Modern, unfortunately. There's no altars that sack for mana or anything. The other day I was playing this deck, I was on the draw against the turn 1 monkey. I got hit by it twice, and then on turn 3 I had 10 copies of Ave in play. It's awesome. Having trouble brewing the new Zerd, I think it's any good. No, I think that card is not playable in Modern. Maybe Pioneer power level, but probably still a little weak there. Infernal Plunge. That's a start. I don't know, like you would just need like a good way to like you would need like, you know, Food Chain or something like that, which is never ever gonna get printed. Dude, I mean, I guess these 1-land Ragavan hands are pretty reasonable on the play. Yeah, I saw that monkey hit See the Truth against you. That was pretty funny. Probably have another Ragavan. What, the Goblin Fecundity Shells? I feel like you're like probably almost there, you know what I mean? And like not quite there. Alright, not the end of the world. They put Drown into their yard. We really needed this Overgrowth, unfortunately. Maybe we'll just draw another one. Wild Cantor. Oh, so I mean, at least as far as like, you know, this thought that we just had, this incredibly bad, dangerous thought. Imperial Recruiter for Ave. In order to make that work, you would need a good way to turn creatures in play into mana. And there's no Phyrexian Altar, there's no Ashnod's Altar, there's no Food Chain, there's, you know, as far as I know, there's not a card that even like lets you like repeatedly sacrifice creatures for mana. All of them are like one use, like Priest of Fell Rites or, you know, cards like that. Yeah, Priest of the Forgotten Gods, or there's a new like altar that is a one-time use. I kind of want to get Haywire Mites. It's maybe just best to get Bridge. Yeah, probably just best to get Bridge. It's bad with the card Thermopod. Okay. Sack a creature, add red. Okay, I mean, that is something. It is bad, yeah. If it was like one less mana and was tutorable by Recruiter, maybe. Might feels higher upside. Yeah, but it's just like they can't Spell Pierce this, they can't Drown and lock this, and they don't have that many answers to it, so it just feels like kind of silly to not get the bridge here. Wow, they're ignoring the planeswalkers, presumably because they think they'll know they can win as bolting me out. Could we have gone Pact for Burning Tree, Garruk on top of Nykthos, we could eliminate a card? We could have, but there's a stupid Alpine Moon in play. Skirk Prospector has that sack. Okay, that's true. Skirk Prospector, but unfortunately you can't, sack your Recruiter, and other stuff. But that is true. Prospector is like really the only example. Okay, so if I go Karn for Haywire Might, kill this. Pact for Burning Tree Emissary. Karn, Haywire Might, kill Alpine Moon. Untap a land with Kiora. Pact Burning Tree Emissary. Nykthos 4 mana, cast Garruk. I'm 1 mana short of Garruk, untap, and then casting Ave, I think. Yeah, Arcane, just easy. Maskwood Nexus, right? You have a Kiora untap. I've already counted you have to Kiora untap first. You already have to Kiora untap with this line. I do think I have to do this anyways, so I can get the bridge down, right? No, hold on. Because right now I can go Garruk Bridge, but I still just die to these channelers. Nykthos adds 5 mana with Burning Tree, Kiora, Garruk. I'm saying I could not activate Nykthos after I cast Garruk. That's the problem. The problem is I cannot activate Nykthos after I cast Garruk. I can if I Summer's Pact for a second Burning Tree Emissary, which is I think what I have to do to get my hand empty. I think this is the only line. But I was hoping to be able to like get an Ave or like do something this turn, Burn 9 months, thank you. Yeah, definitely had an awesome year this year. Okay, so we get 2 Burning Tree Emissaries, Garruk Bridge. Or I guess we don't play both of the Garruks. And then I guess this has to be enough mana to Nykthos for 8, right? So we have 6, 7. Yeah, we should have enough to pay for the packs. But we died to removal spell. But I don't really see another line. You don't have mana to pay for 2 packs? I should. Not if they kill an emissary, but or Garruk, but I really don't have another line because all the other lines just keep me dead to the channelers that I'm seeing at least. But I have 7 devotion. I have exactly 8 mana. But it's super unlikely my opponent doesn't have a removal spell. Maybe they don't see the line somehow. But I think this is the only line I saw. Oh, man, I guess. I think maybe they didn't see a line. I don't know, maybe. Let's not assume that they just messed up, I guess. We'll put back the Karn. The show goes on, huh? So it's got a lot of potential. We're up against Kihira. Arbor Elves usually survive against Kihira decks. When it's Animal to 6. Lucy is right here being very cute. Kihira Steam Vents. Because blue-white control plays Steam Vents a lot of the time. Can't really draw too many conclusions from that. I will play my Arbor Elf on turn 1, though. Not getting rid in 6 is nice. Drawing Nykthos is also super nice. Okay, things are starting to go a bit better, huh? It's honestly also really good that they played the Nykthos. They played the Nykthos. I kind of wanted to put the Overgrowth here so I could just do everything and activate Nykthos on tap. But without another land in my hand, I don't think I really have that luxury. Put it maybe like to fairies. Oh, They have this card in their deck. They have this card in their deck. Does Overgrowth trigger? Yes, it does. You get the extra 2 mana from Overgrowth if you put it on Nykthos, and then you could untap it here. All right, fair. That's fair. That's totally fair, opponent. You do that. Oh my gosh. A Witness and a Nykthos. Both pretty interesting. So I've got to do some accounting here. So if I take the second Nykthos, can I take both of these cards? Take a second Nykthos, I can go Burning Tree, activate my Nykthos for only 4 mana. So I really do have to Sun Respect for another Burning Tree. Unfortunately. Because I was wanting to like maybe like Pact for an Eternal Witness and like activate Nykthos again. I don't think I have enough mana for that. So I guess if I take Witness, I guess I can go Pact for Burning Tree, Burning Tree, 6 Devotion, and just 1, 2, 3, like 5 copies of Ave. I guess that's pretty good. If you take Nykthos, you don't have to Pact for Burning Tree. I think that this is better, but yeah, Overgrowth. Overgrowth says whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, you make an additional 2 green. And when you activate Nykthos' ability, you are tapping it for mana. We're also dead to a answer for Overgrowth. Of course, right? Why wouldn't we be? Can you Overgrowth the second Nykthos Extra Storm? I don't think so. I think that this was the best line. I'm definitely addicted to this. This is the best shit ever. This is just the most fun. If we had that Arbor Elf still in play, we'd be able to do some crazy stuff. In Search of Greatness plus Leyland Binding. Plus random 7 mana spell in your hand. But yeah. That's the problem is like, what random 7 mana spell are you gonna In Search of Greatness? Alright. Good luck, opponent. Just to get to trigger their Risen Reef off the Voice of Resurgence. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, this deck is very happy that they did away with Mana Burn. Next turn can be pretty cool too. We can Ave for a lot. We can go Burning Tree, Nykthos, Overgrowth, Witness, Pact, Ave again. So hopefully my opponent, like, survives. Cool. Making it more likely. Man, Solitude and Fury are so bad against creature decks, huh? Just not really doing enough here. Okay, that probably has to stay back on defense, right? No? Oh, they can trigger it so that the Harbinger resolves first, and then they can, like, Solitude again or something. So they probably chose Fury because they have a red card in their hand. Is that 1/2 deck Tamashii deck? Yeah, I honestly feel like the Tamashii deck had potential, but I just kind of felt like playing this instead. The Tamashii deck, like these convoluted toolbox combo decks, they're really hard for me to play all stream. Alright, I love that my opponent was able to survive. We can go Forest, Overgrowth, the Forest, Burning Tree Emissary. Activate Nykthos, 14 mana, so we can go Witness, Pact, Witness, Pact, Ave. This deck is just so sick. Opponents fighting? Yeah, we weren't actually dead to a Besage answered that turn, thankfully. Oh no, we were because we packed twice. Yeah, sorry, we did pack twice, huh? So if they Besage our Nykthos, we die. They had played their Besage you out. Smiletron, 15 months. Jank Mage of the 4. Thank you. Welcome back. There's Warping Whale and Amulet Titan in the sideboard. Good edge against creativity, Cascade matchups. It's really hard to hold it up. Alright, like this hand. Like it well enough to keep at least. You remember when Elementals was like, just like our opponent's deck? This was like a really common tier 1 strategy. I mean, I guess it wasn't exactly like our opponents, like the Thunderkin Awakener version, but like the more like they like Flamekin Harbinger was a super common card in Elementals. Yeah, boy, were people scared of the deck too. Yeah, it was definitely like close to tier 1, if not actually tier 1. Okay, we have Yavimaya Nykthos Arbor Elf, the 3-card combo. Although untapping Forest probably will net us more mana next turn. Yeah, the Torpor Orb meta. How could I forget? No, this is so rude. Garrick Wildspeaker. Okay, I don't think this really does. I can't really, can't go off this turn thanks to the Foundation Breaker, but I can, I think, just set up well for next turn. Oh, Solitude my Arbor Elf. Okay, that's fine. I have a backup Arbor Elf. I think I'm gonna hold the Oath of Nissa for Stormcount next turn, and we can go Oath, Garrick, whatever we draw for turn, hopefully, and maybe find something off Oath of Nissa too for like at least 5 oozes. Opponent only has 3 cards in their hand too, 4 cards now. Just play a dumb Omnath. Just play a dumb Omnath. Okay. That's actually really interesting, because I may be able to go like Ave and like untap my Nykthos or something. Okay, Burning Tree is a pretty good hit. And then like Ave again. We have a Subtlety. Okay. So this does increase the storm counts. But I don't think I can double Ave anymore. Maybe I never could, huh? Yeah, no, I could have. If the Burning Tree had resolved, I actually definitely can double Ave. That would have been so cool. We'll settle for this. We'll settle for this on turn 4 through Subtlety, Solitude, Foundation Breaker. It's kind of cool. Well, we don't get to overrun if they attack the Garrick, but I actually had an opponent with a flyer who could have attacked Garrick and just like, didn't know what Garrick did because it's because it's Garrick. We also have like infinite mana if we draw like a Summoner's Pact or a Karn, we get to go crazy. Any idea what my overall record is? I think so. We played the deck on Monday, and I think we were like 1-2, 4-1, 1-2 or something. Now we're 1-1. So the deck's like, you know, not horrible, not not good either. So like, you know, mid. Okay, that's fine. I could Nykthos if I had cast Summoner's Pact, but I haven't cast Summoner's Pact, but I also could just. Yeah, people just don't know what Garrick does. People just don't know what Garrick does. Goss 15 months, thank you. I went 2-3 then 4-1. Yeah. Mid I think is my current evaluation. All right, I'll draw against a Giganta. Yeah, this deck is definitely very fun to watch, I think. Okay, let's keep this. Put back Yavimaya. I usually keep Yavimaya if I have Arbor Elf in my hand. Because I'm scared of drawing the second copy. So probably Prowess. Being against Prowess on the draw is tough, but our hand is also really good if it draws a Nykthos, so we have a couple Oath of Nisses to try to find one. This is the best card in the matchup, Utopia Sprawl. Penalty Shootout World Cup. Is it the finals? I haven't ever watched a match of soccer in my entire life. Okay. Pretty promising card. I think I cast this. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I'm just gonna play a forest to pretend like I'm not maybe super strong, and then we get to go Oath of Nissa, Emissary, Ave, and Die to the Sprite Dragon. If only my opponent was taking my advice and playing Iconoclast over Sprite Dragon, I'd be super dead, or I'd be super alive rather. I mean, Sprite Dragon's good. I think Iconoclast is like a bit better in the current, like, more fair Ragavan-y metagame, but maybe there's some metagames you want the dragon instead. Another Lava Dart. Yeah, these flyers are going to be tricky. I mean, I could also, like, find a Karn, maybe. You could find... No, I don't think like a Summoner's Pact actually really does that much. Hold on. So I'm going to take 6, probably. They probably don't dart from the yard this turn. Maybe they do. No, they don't. Okay, I drew Karn. It's big. So this Nykthos, so I basically have 7 mana. If I don't find, like... Yeah, I think I need to Oath of Nissa and try to find Kiora or Garrick or Burning Tree. Oh man. Second Nykthos, I can't play it this turn. But I can just... Oh no, because I played the Oath of Nissa, I can't Karn for Bridge. I'm 1 mana short of Karn for Bridge. So we... I guess we just Ave, and then they have 3 darts. They have 3 darts, put me down to 8. 6. So I'm dead if they find Delirium, which they like are like definitely going to. So is it better to just Karn? Is it better to just Karn Chalice on 1? Probably is. Stinks that I can't play this Ave though. But I think this is really my only line. Another issue is like the like with this line, the Soulscar Mage is like a real threat too. 413, thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate you. We're still dead to the Delirium with Chalice in 1. That's not true, right? Because, well, they have to have something else. Because this dart doesn't deal any damage, so 1, 2, 3. This is 6 plus 9. I go to 1, but I'm not. I guess I'm dead if they have like any other spell, so probably dead. 4, 3, 1. I think for the 5 months, which they can probably surveil into a spell. I think I'm gonna play food in the challenge tomorrow. I think it's unlikely I end up like YOLO switching to something else, but maybe if I... There's no way... I don't know. I really want this Tamashi deck to work. I really want this Tamashi deck to work. Not the one we played today, but it's like... I don't think I actually have the rough draft anymore. I wrote over it. Like the more value focused one that like, so it's like recommission, Lotus Bloom, Restoration, Kylo's Reconstruction, and then it's like kind of the fair artifact shell. Maybe you play Goblin Engineer, maybe you don't. Goblin Engineer is pretty good with Restoration, but like I could definitely see it just being a more like fair strategy and potentially like you're playing, you know, like the hold on, this shell, or hold on. So you're playing like this shell, and then you're playing Reconstruction, Tamashi, like maybe two recommission side, and recommission hits you your Lotus Blooms, your Tamashi, your Stoneforge Mystic, Ingenious Smith, Portable Hole, Esper Sentinel. But there's also maybe just like not enough room in the deck either. But you can also find you Power Conduit. I don't know. There's maybe just not enough room in the deck. Okay, because my opponent didn't dart me, I'm not just dead to this bauble. Oh no, they did dart me end of turn. Sorry, they took so freaking long. They took so long. I'm dead. Oh, they couldn't crack the bauble because card was in play. Actually, they couldn't crack. That's right. They couldn't crack the bauble because Karn was in play, but you know, if they found Delirium after like the next 3 surveils, we were dead. Would Ballista ping DRC have done anything? I don't know. I think we were super dead no matter what. What's my philosophy on Vial? Vial does not make bad decks good, but Aether Vial is a good card in like specifically Merfolk and Goblins, which are the 2 most playable tribal decks at the moment. But I've actually been like reflecting on humans as an archetype a lot lately, and humans is not like completely unplayable. And you know, it's a hard deck to build because you have like so many like good options at 3 mana, and it's not clear the best way to build it in my opinion. That being said, humans was always a very, very odd deck when it was like considered to be tier 1 in Modern, where it was very, very popular in Paper. Humans was always one of the more popular decks in Paper, and it was almost always non-existent on Magic Online. Almost completely non-existent on Magic Online. And I'm just like, with that reflection, with me kind of like thinking about that, I just like wonder if like I've never really like understood why that is. Why it's again very popular in Paper, not so popular in Magic Online. Is it because the deck has never really been as good as people think it is? Is it like a metagame thing? Is it just people don't like to play the deck? I'm not really sure. It was cheap to build. Yeah, maybe it was cheap to build in Paper, so it was more popular in Paper, but it was never really very successful in Magic Online. At least that's how I recall. So Yeah. Maybe just a boring deck to grind, but but again, it was really just like not a represented deck on Magic Online. So we take this Karn. Yeah, I think it was cheap at first. I think it became expensive, like a lot of decks that burst into the scene. I think Banned Humans with Coco is the best variation of deck at the moment. Maybe. I do agree that there's probably some room for innovation. Cavern plus Vial plus Canopies do not represent cheap. Yeah, I guess that's probably true, actually. Okay, I think I just want to get the Garrick down and give me a lot of options for next turn. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Hyrix are super expensive. Yeah, so, someone said something isn't Fury really popular right now, but like, yeah, Fury is like very popular, common. Fury is like good against goblins, but goblins can beat Fury. So like the thing about Merfolk, main deck subtlety. Merfolk actually has like flash creatures, card advantage creatures. The Merfolk God is really good against Fury too. Fury is good against Merfolk, but Merfolk has a lot of ways to fight Fury. Goblins has a ton of card advantage and can also fight through Fury as well. And like the reality is like this kind of circles back to me like reflecting on humans as an archetype. When people go online and they say Modern Horizons 2, Fury and Solitude have pushed creature decks out of the format. When I reflect on this statement more and more, it literally just means humans. It literally just means humans. Where goblins and merfolk are both like viable and put up results. You have Yawgmoth, which is like you have Yawgmoth, you have Hammer Time, you have Murktide. And just thinking like, what creature deck did it push out of the format? I think it's literally just humans. You know what I mean? And it's just so odd to me that like statements like this can like sound true. Fury Solitude push creature decks out of the format, but under like a slight amount of like scrutiny and like thought on it, it's just not true. You know what I mean? It's just not like a true statement. Taxes, Elves, Devoted Druid. Yeah, Devoted Druid's a good example. Taxes has never been good at Modern, and Taxes has never been good at Modern. People have played it; it's never been good. Elves had also not been good for a long time. Elves had not been good for a long time. I'm trying to remember, like, so Elves was like pretty viable. I don't know if it was Fatal Push. I don't know if it was Plague Engineer. I don't know if it was Lava Dart, but it wasn't Fury Solitude. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Karn, Chalice, and one. Elves was good during Eldrazi Winter. That's true, yeah, but I mean, that was kind of a weird metagame. But again, it wasn't the Elementals that pushed it out. Just like a lot of people also think that Path to Exile got pushed out by MH2, and that is also, you know, something we were talking about yesterday. But that's also not true. There are no good creature decks though in Modern, Lamau. I don't know if you're joking or not, but like almost every deck in Modern is a creature deck. Murktide, Hammer, Rakdos Midrange, Burn. You know, Omnath and Creativity, you could argue these aren't creature decks, but Yawgmoth, Rhinos, Amulet, Titan, Domain Zoo, Grinding Station, Merfolk, Death Shadow. Literally all of these decks are super creature heavy. And this is not even like counting, you know, Goblins and Merfolk, which are viable traditional tribal strategies too. Yeah, Scales is another great example too of a very good creature deck that is like there's lots of creature decks that are pretty viable and put up results that just aren't popular because, you know, one reason or another too. I think it's still legitimate to say Fury suppresses the format, even in the case of Fringe 2-3 decks like Taxes, even if they've never been good or weren't top tier. Stifles these Fringe strategies, creature based, and some people want to play, even though they haven't spent time in the limelight. I don't know, because I think that that's a very popular, common thing that you're saying. I don't think what you're saying is like super wrong. Like I don't strongly disagree with what you're saying, but I will say one thing is like the biggest issue I have with that statement that Fury suppresses the format, right? And so Fury keeps these tier 2, tier 3 decks out of the metagame. Like, is it Fury, or is it just the fact that they're not competitive decks? You know what I mean? Like, decks that, like, Taxes has, in my opinion, been like completely unplayable the entire time it's been like a deck in Modern. It's been like one of the worst decks ever. You can win with it because it's Modern and it's really open, and you can have your sideboard cards line up well and your main deck cards line up well. But I think the deck's always been really bad. But this attitude that Fury pushes fringe decks to the fringes of the format, I don't think that this is a good argument, because humans is a worse tribal deck than Merfolk or Goblins. Is it Fury that pushes humans out of the format, or is it just that it's, if you're going to play a tribal deck, you wouldn't want to play humans, you'd want to play a different tribal deck? And does that make sense? Because what you're saying is a very common thought, but I just am really starting to disagree. It's as much Fury as Wrenn and 6. Well, I don't know. It's like, people say this all the time. Fury, Wrenn and 6, Solitude, they push creature decks out of the format. But I'm just really starting to think this isn't true, because creature decks are very common and very good in Modern. Is humans the worst tribal deck? Like, actually true? Yeah, I think Merfolk and Goblins are both better tribal decks than humans. And that's just kind of true of like every format too. Like some decks are just less optimal than other. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting conversation, I think. It's time and power creep. Bad decks only get worse without specifically new cards being printed into them. People get frustrated because of bad deck. Yeah, I think that's true too. Definitely a good way to phrase it. And obviously, like when we're talking about this, there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of nuance. And this is not me saying Fury is a well-designed card. You know what I mean? And this is not me saying that you can't have frustrations with this. But there's just like a lot of hot takes about Modern that get regurgitated and repeated over and over again, and people just kind of accept them as true. And I've just been reflecting on them a lot lately, and I just feel like a lot of these things just are not things I agree with. Brazil lost sad. Now we got a lot of Brazilians here. Do they mean it pushed out because it kills the cards, or how you should just be playing Fury over other things? Well, that's yeah, I don't know, because you can play, there are plenty of decks that don't play Fury that are good. Fury only sees play in Scam and Elementals. What other hot takes do I disagree with? I mean, so like one of the big ones, we kind of just touched on this, but like I saw a YouTube video the other day talking about Path to Exile and how Modern Horizons 2 had pushed Path to Exile out of the format, because now you have Prismatic Ending, Solitude, now you have Leyline Binding. And like, that's true to an extent, but Path to Exile saw like almost no play in Modern from the entire period of MH1 to MH2, which is like 2 years. And then like even like 6 to 8 months before MH1, Path to Exile had really fallen out of favor too, because it didn't line up very well in like the Faithful Suiting format. So it wasn't necessarily that Ending and Solitude and Binding were better removal spells than Path. It's that Path was unplayable before White actually got good removal spells. But what was one thing that was really weird in the comments, and this is a hot take I disagree with, but this one is like less objective than the other things we're talking about, because obviously this is just an opinion. But the entire comment section was going, I miss Path to Exile. Modern Horizons 2 took Path to Exile from me. I long for the days when I can cast Path to Exile. And you can have that opinion. It's just, there's nothing, I can't say you're wrong for that. But I have never enjoyed casting a Path to Exile. I have never cast a Path to Exile and and enjoyed casting that card. It always feels, to me, it always felt like one of the worst cards to cast, especially early, especially on the draw, fetch shocking Pathing Goblin Guide. You have your Scalding Tarn, you can't even get your planes. You're on the draw against a Goblin Guide, you have to fetch shock Path to Exile. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. And I personally am thrilled to never have to cast that card again. Yeah. I know. I said the same thing yesterday, but listen, I'm in front of a camera for several hours a day. I'm going to repeat myself. So I just didn't understand why people missed. I don't know why people miss casting Path. Is my point. I just don't get it. People liked Modern's powerful decks doing powerful things with bad cards sometimes. I guess. We're 2-1 in this league at the moment. 2-1 in this league. That's true. The Path Exile has like a ton of great arts. I agree with that. Yeah, I think I agree with that, Simon. Path Exile also does still see some fringe play in Modern too. Like Path Exile is a pretty common sideboard card for Hammer. It's a good tool in the mirror. It is a fringe playable sideboard card. And I hate to play it, but you have to sometimes. Okay, that's just lying. What's just lying? That people play Path? I've played Path in like the Jeskai Phoenix deck. It is a fringe playable sideboard card. I like it's maybe not correct, but like people do play it in Hammer sideboard. I actually saw, I think, Everos's opponent cast it against him yesterday. I would love Path Exile and Pioneer. Path Exile would probably be okay, like a fine card to print in the Pioneer. Yeah, Burn players will play it in the sideboard for Murktide sometimes. Although I don't. When I was playing a lot of Burn, I just tried to like kill them. You know what I mean? I just ended up like not trying to path the Murktide, but pathing Murktide is fine. Also, like Hammer could potentially play like Chain to the Rocks instead of Path. I always thought that might be interesting. Path wasn't so bad that the logical upgrade was to 6 swords onto a 3/2 flash creature. There has to be a middle ground between those. I mean, yeah. So like, I think like for me personally, I'm not someone that like hates Solitude as a design, but like this is also like this wasn't the point I was making. Like, I think that if you're gonna make an argument about Modern, criticizing the design of Solitude is totally fine. I think that a lot of people are obviously in the camp of not liking Solitude. That's fine. My main thing is like, why do y'all miss casting Path? Well, that's the point I was trying to make. You know what I mean? Change the Rocks requires a mountain. Do you mean Antonice? Yeah, I mean Burn plays mountains. Maybe they don't play enough mountains, but I did mean dude, my opponent is negative 10 minutes on the clock. Oh, I said Hammer. Yeah, sorry, we were talking about Burn. Okay, I'm going to draw a Pact or a Burning Tree. Fail to do so. Not that if my opponent has literally nothing. It's kind of a silly question, but you can explain how the Gruul Fu deck wins. Just beat down with Troll Kings? Yeah, Troll Kings, Urza Saga tokens, Asmo, control the board, attack them. Right, top deck the Bolt. Oh, they just hardcast Light of the Sage. Yeah, sorry, I guess we were dead to the hardcast. Okay. 2 and 2. That simply isn't true. What isn't true? That Path wasn't a staple for those years? Because this is like very much my recollection of the events. Probably need to get the third hand land here. Yeah, Solitude is also like kind of at an all-time low in Modern right now, but yeah, Anthonice was a card I was playing in a lot of white decks. Because it's like the way I remember it is like before MH1, Control was like not viable. Like Control was not a tier 1 deck. It was getting smashed to smithereens by the Faithless Looting era. In fact, like it was like a very common meme at the time. That your opponent would go turn 1, Faithless Looting, Street Wraith, Hogak, or sorry, Hollow One, Vengevine you, and you would play Colonnade tapped and just die. You just play Colonnade tapped and die. And then in like the beginning of MH1 metagame, you have like the Uro control decks that didn't play Path to Exile, and the Uro control decks were, you know, they didn't play Path, and they weren't like more traditional blue-white builds. I do think you could maybe unban Splinter Twin. I don't know that you should, but I think you maybe could. Okay, well, should I just play Elf this turn? Because I can go Overgrowth, untap. I mean, drawing land makes things way easier, but Overgrowth, untap. No, I think I have to play the Overgrowth this turn. Austin Burovich won a GP with Blue White and Hogak era. Hogak era is a little different than what I'm describing, right? I'm talking about. So Hogak era is post MH1. Hogak era is post MH1. Pre MH1, like that's when the Celestial Colonnade tapped meme was a thing. When Faithless Looting was dominating the format, Blue White was not very playable. Hogak metagame is not a real metagame. It is like it's one of like Modern's 4 broken formats, and like yes, like Blue White with main deck Rest in Peace can take down a tournament. But you know that's mostly what I'm talking about. I literally looked up 2019 League Dumps and found multiple different decks with 4 Path of the Main. Yeah, so when is the 2019 era? Okay, I guess I know when it is, but how was Kiora into Elf last turn? Oh, that was maybe the better line. This turn, I think I'm going Garrick into Kiora into Pact for Ave. 2019 was MH1. Okay, what deck is main decking 4 paths in the MH1 era besides like really weird metagame blue-white control decks that are not that good? Yeah, I've been saying path's been gone for like 2, maybe 3 years, so, but yeah, I don't know. We can, you know, probably stop beating the dead horse too at some point. People play Path because you need it for Hogak. We didn't want to, we had to. Yeah, so like maybe Path was unplayable before Hogak. There was a small window where it saw a resurgence in play post Hogak, and then Hogak ban, Faithless Looting ban, it stopped seeing play again. Maybe that's the timeline. Bant Oko Blade, blue white, mono white. No, Bant Oko Blade is Stoneforge Mystic got banned at the same time Faithless Looting was banned and Hogak was banned. But maybe you have to play Path to kill Urza, because Urza was like pretty popular then too. Could die this turn if they have another hammer and a paladin. Stoneforge got unbanned before MH1. No, Stoneforge. Maybe I'm just, you know, I just misremembering everything today, but I'm like 99% sure that they. Oh, just equip onto the Nexus and then pro green. I'm like 99% sure they banned Hogak, banned Looting, and unbanned Stoneforge Mystic in the exact same announcement. Because I remember because that was the best day of my life. I remember because that was the best day of my entire life. Why was Stoneforge banned in the first place? It was pre-banned going into Modern. You know, like the threats in Modern were like not nearly what they were then, or like the fair threats, and so like Stoneforge Mystic for Batterskull, they were pretty afraid of it. It's kind of funny to think about that now. Yeah, same with Jace and Bloodbraid Elf, and it's kind of wild to think that Jace and Bloodbraid Elf see like literally zero play. Well, I guess if Jace sees a little play in blue-white control. But I cannot tell you the last time I saw a Bloodbraid Elf. According to Goldfish, there were 42 tournament decks from November 9th to December 9th that were running 4-path main. Honestly, 42 over the course of a whole year. Does this tournament deck mean like top 8 at a challenge or like 5-0 to league? Because that's important data. But that's also, you know, like, you know, more than the 2 years, the 2-year point too. I guess it's not. Oh, that's 1 month. Okay, I misread. Okay, maybe I'm just totally misremembering. Yeah, I know I wasn't playing Path, huh? Yeah, we can move on. But I will finish off the dialogue saying maybe I'm wrong. Bloodbraid won the Modern Tournament 4 seasons? Really? Oh wait, no, yeah, it was a Rhinos deck playing Bloodbraid, right? It was a Rhinos deck playing Bloodbraid. I remember like looking at it and not liking it because it didn't play Force. It was a Blood Moon Rhinos deck playing Bloodbraid. Wild. Actually wild. The Force. Wait, they were playing Bloodbraid and Force? The Stones. Oh, they're playing Force of Vigor. They're playing Force of Vigor over Force of Negation. That's right. I remember thinking main deck Force of Vigor. And not thinking it was probably that good. So Garrick is -1 mana here. It's nice that Karn turns off the Springleaf Drum. I kind of think I should not play the Garrick. I should go Karn, untap Utopia Sprawl. Oh no, I was thinking I could Haywire Might and sack, but the problem is like I lose the floating mana. But honestly, maybe I just get a coding target the fountain, and then they just have Inkmoth and then whatever land they play. So if they have exactly untap, if they have White Source Hammer, they get to kill Karn. Otherwise, they just don't get to do much this turn. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Chalice one would be okay. The problem is like if they have Paladin, then they can like go Paladin, activate Stoneforge Mystic. But like I think they also can't do that in one turn. Yeah, Chalice one seems fine too. This was like a genius metagame call though. If this okay, maybe this wasn't a genius metagame call, because like. Look at the rest of the top 8. Merfolk, Elementals, Yawgmoth, Merfolk, Rakdos. Force is like not good against any of these decks. Except it has like targets against Merfolk. Cards have some equipping anyways. That's true. So yeah, I guess Chalice one was a bit better. Both lines kind of cold to them. Natty Cauldron. Must be typed incorrect. No, they're playing Bloodbraid Elf. That's why they're not playing Force of Negation. You ever brew Bloodbraid Marauder? Yeah. I've been trying to figure out Bloodbraid Marauder, like Grizzly Salvage, Arcane Proxy Rhinos lately. But it is, it's going about as well as you'd probably expect. So I think I played this for 1 extra storm. No stream words, yeah. I mean, there's a reason y'all haven't seen that one on the stream, you know. But like, there's something there, right? There's maybe something, maybe not, huh? But like, Grizzly Salvage is like kind of good to flash back with Arcane Proxy. It sets up Delirium for your Bloodbraid Marauder, and then you get to play 2 mana spells in your Rhinos deck, but you still don't get to play 1 mana spells, which kind of stinks. And so I don't know. Probably never ends up getting there, like most brews. Okay, love to see them starting off with just a Esper Sentinel cast here. Are they gonna die to the Garruk ultimate? I don't. They might be surviving it here. Okay, so Ultimate Garruk, I have currently 9 plus 5, 14 plus 12, 26. That's 26 damage. My opponent can make a Saga token, buff it once with the Nexus, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. It's not really enough, is it? If I find a Nykthos, though, off this Oath of Nissa, I can, like, storm for a bunch, and then set up for, just have more. Okay, I did find the Nykthos. Okay, so let's go. Untap Forest. Play Nykthos. Activate. Ultimate Garruk, play Ave. Attack. I want to play... Oh, I guess I lose the... Oh, I get to draw cards, too. I forgot about the cards. Draw 3 cards. But I don't get to keep this ooze here. Okay, so let's go untap Nykthos Utopia Sprawl. This is gonna be a sick turn. Yeah, we're going to Ave again. Oh, that's actually kind of sick that they you legend roll the Aves, and then you get to do it again after you Nykthos. And we just have, you know, 1,000,000 mana. I guess I put that in the hand, although I've already played my land this turn. Glad we found that Nykthos off the Oath of Nissa. So this is going to draw us 7 cards with like 25 mana floating. And obviously put a ton of power into play too. Oh, I could have Summoner's Pacted. I don't know. I could have, though. That's so... Yeah, we could have done like 3 extra Storm. Oh, wow. You can't take Pacts? Why can't I take Pact? I have a Karn for a Chroma's Memorial. So I'm just gonna get my Storm count up a bit higher and try to find a Karn, a Chroma's Memorial here, obviously. King Rat packed off. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, packed off the Eternal Witness would have let me storm for like a few more. I really don't want my opponent to concede. Do they have a Giver in play? Oh, they don't have a Giver. If they had a Giver, then they would never concede here. But maybe they just want me to have my fun, huh? Yeah, this deck is just so sick. It's missing something. It really is missing something. And I've looked at like every single legal green creature in Modern, looking for something for Summoner's Pact, and I've tried Manamorphose, I've tried Abundant Harvest, and it's just, it is missing something. Okay, I do need to find a Karn. I thought for sure. I guess I can Ave again. Okay, there's my Karn. Remember when we ultimated a Garruk this turn? Creative not good enough. Okay, so look, listen. That's not what the deck is missing. Is not like a Crater Hoof for situations like this. The deck is missing like another good Devotion Storm card. You know what I mean? This deck is not missing Crater Hoof. Oh, there was another Ave hiding out. Okay, let's not play with their food too much. But we could deal so much more damage here. Oh, it's way over here. Yeah, Hidden Herbalist isn't it? That card I think is too weak, but and then like the problem with Hidden Herbalist is it's less devotion than Emissary, and you need a fetch land for it to even work. Let's go. That's got to be a tweet right there. Modern, staple, Achroma's Memorial. Opponent didn't even let me like hit them. That's actually like very rude of them. Yeah, this is probably gonna be a mulligan. Really need like a 1-mana accelerant on the draw. Yikes. Well, if this hand top decks a green source, it's okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna put back Witness and nick those. Can't really go to 4 when this hand has like, if this hand just top decks a green source, we're fine. Seems like way more likely to top deck a green source here and win than like win on the average mold of 4. Although there's like, if you keep like Forest, Utopia Sprawl, Elf, Karn, but that's even like 5 cards. Yeah. Wolfbriar Elemental. Okay, so oh wow, that's not even that's the best one, right? Okay, so I'm not looking for like something. I don't want something to cast that that is like something big for a lot of mana. I'm looking for something an enabler, not a payoff. I'm looking like the other Burning Tree Emissary is not good enough. The Revolt Hidden Herbalist, that card is not good enough to play in my opinion. It's not enough devotion, and you need a fetch land for it to work. But if you could play 8 Burning Tree Emissaries or 8 Summoners packs, that would be awesome. That's what I'm longing for. Wild Cantor. I would play like Manamorphose. I would just play Manamorphose over Cantor probably. You don't really want accelerants that like sack themselves too in your devotion deck. Okay, too many lands. They got a Cauldron. Do you go back to Morphos to play Priest of Urabrask? So yeah, I think you could maybe play Priest. But I don't know if you'd play it in the Devotion shell. But there could be maybe something with Priest. But if only Ave costs like green though instead of triple green, if it was just 2 green, because it's like you have to get like 2 Manamorphoses to Ave. Time of Need. Oh, Time of Need. Funny enough, like when I first started to work on this archetype, I was really hyped for Time of Need because I thought Time of Need could find you Nykthos, could find you Garruk, could find you Kior, could find you Karn, could find you Ave, but it can only find the creatures. Unfortunately. I think we just go land pass and hope to like combo next turn. Not Hydra Crisis. We need enablers, not payoffs. We need enablers, not payoffs. But of course, just like every chat conversation about what a deck needs, like most suggestions are like, here is a goofy card that I like that you can, if you have tons of mana, this will win you the game. We're already able to win the game when we have tons of mana and a creature tutor. What we need is We need to be able to play 8 Burning Tree Emissaries and 8 Nykthoses and 8 Summer's Packs. Yeah, Hoof. Again, Hoof is like this we're that's the example of a kind of card that we need to. It's not what we're looking for. Okay, so we only get to draw 1 card here, which kind of stinks. Innkeeper seems close. What Innkeeper? Elvish Visionary. Honestly, like, what? Okay, there's the other Elvish Visionary that's only legal in Legacy. There's another Elvish Visionary that's only legal in Legacy. I think it has Echo, but it's like green. I don't know. Alright, well, we got that awesome game too, at least. Reki, yeah, Reki's not it. Yeah, Mulani's Acolyte. I don't think that card is modern legal. Mulani's Acolyte. It also has Echo, which is like, if it didn't have, it would need to like not have Echo. Wistful Selkie. Yeah, maybe Wistful Selkie is what the deck needs. I can see that being fine. Okay, that's gonna be all for me today. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm really tired. I had a really late night. I'm on like 3 hours of sleep. But I.
Bye.